Okay, today we're going to go over how to use a Sawzall, how to check it, how to install the blade, how to install the battery, check the battery, check over all the safety stuff on it. We're going to go over the corded bandsaw and also a battery powered bandsaw. Basically, they're the same machine, just one's battery powered versus corded. On your battery, you want to make sure you start with a full battery. Most batteries nowadays have a test button. You just press the button, 3 little green lights will come on. You know the battery's good. You can sniff it. Make sure that it's not burned or anything. If it's got a weird smell, don't use it. Before you put your battery in, go over your Sawzall, or reciprocating saw as they call it. Make sure everything works. Make sure your shoe works. Make sure your blade release functions properly. Make sure there's no cracks or anything. When you install the blades, you can install the blades one of 2 ways. You can install it this way for using it regularly, but if you're in a tight area, you can reverse the blade and put it in this way, and if you have to go in an upwards motion because of restricted areas, it does function that way. That's perfectly fine. On our purposes, we'll be putting the blade the other way. When you put your battery in, it just clips into place. You'll push this button here and the battery slides out. They do have a variable speed option on the trigger. You have a safety. Push it that way, the trigger does not pull. Push the safety in, you'll see a red spot on the trigger letting you know that it's activated. If you barely pull the trigger, it'll move slow. And then pull the trigger fast and it'll go faster. Make sure that you're always wear your safety glasses. We're going to set up our wood on the tri-stand. We'll take our chain and we'll fold it over. Lock it down into place. Again, using this on a piece of wood, it will damage the sides. So don't clamp it down too hard, or if it's something that's going to be shown for finish work, you may want to clamp it down with clamps. So we're going to use our tape measure. We'll mark our line. I'm going to cut off 2 inches. Now on this saw, the way it works is what you want to do is you want to put the heel or the shoe up against your work, and you're going to start your blade slow on your line. And as it starts cutting into the material so it doesn't jump around, then you can squeeze the trigger harder. Oh, tighten that down some more. Now these are for demo work only. They are not for fine finish work or anything. This is for cutting down walls and structures that are getting remodeled. Okay. Now we're going to remove this. We're going to install our 3/4 EMT. Works exactly the same way on this. I'm going to clamp this down into place. We're going to make our mark. Give us the line to go off of. So on the bandsaw, you want to check everything out. Undo your cable, and our cable does have some repairs, it looks like, in it with some electrical tape, but you want to make sure that there's no wires shown. You want to make sure on the end of your cap, your cord cap, none of your prongs are missing, your ground is there, there's no wire sticking out anywhere. Make sure there's no big frays, no wires being shown anywhere. You also want to check it here. Make sure there's nothing coming out of the body here, no wires. You want to make sure there's no damage anywhere. You want to look on the bottom side. Look at your teeth all the way around. Make sure that the blade's not broke anywhere. There's no missing teeth, no signs of damage. To change the blade, you take this lever here, and all you do is pull it down. That releases tension off the drum. You'd pull the blade out, line it back up in between your two guides, push the blade back in, make sure everything's straight, and then once you have the blade where you want it, you just tighten your lever back up. You can adjust your handle depending on how you want it set for your particular needs. You can roll it back, you can roll it forward. It just depends on where you feel comfortable of holding it. There is a hook designed onto some of them. A lot of them have them, some don't, but you can use the hook so that you don't have to lay it onto the ground. You don't have to keep picking it up off the floor. You can put it right there where your work area is. Makes it very convenient. This portion here is on all bandsaws, and this will go up against your work. It's called the stop. And this will go up against your work. You would line your blade up with your line, and then you slowly lower it down with the trigger pulled and the blade moving. Lower it down onto your work. This is basically the same thing, but it's battery powered. Has all the same components. It releases the blade exactly the same way. Has two drums, has two roller guides. It's just a smaller version, and it's battery powered. Works exactly the same way. We're going to plug our tool in. Some of them have a variable speed on the handle here, how fast the motor will spin, but they also have a speed on the trigger. So that's wide open, but then if I increase this numbers, it will cut faster. So thicker material, solid material that's not hollow, you'll want to cut at a slower speed so you don't burn the blade up. Hollower material you can cut at a faster speed. When you are cutting, you'll place the stop against your material. You'll line it up. You'll turn the blade on, and you get right on top of your line, and you let the weight of the tool do the cutting. But you still want to get a good grip on it so that it doesn't just drop to the floor. You want to hold it, but you want the weight of the tool to cut it. Just to demonstrate the battery-powered one, we'll do the exact same thing. pick this up so it's not a tripping hazard. So this works exactly the same way, except for you have a trigger lock on this one. You have to press the trigger lock down for this to work. Again, it has the shoe or the stop. You'll put it up against your work, press the trigger lock down, put your stop up against it, line your line up with your blade. And you let the weight of the tool do the work. And that's it.